Peace, family. It's your brother Saint Micah here with another episode of Spirit and Truth. Just want to show you something real quick. Go on Instagram here and hashtag black men. Okay. And look what comes up. Right? A lot of the top posts are what? Right? Black men with no clothes on. Okay, selling themselves. Just like in slavery. That's hashtag white men. What is this? More black men. Weird. Let's specifically click on the white men hashtag. Oh, white men with their clothes on with sisters. You see the difference? This is the difference. In the world, you are always presented as base and a sexual product. Meanwhile, your enemy is always presented in the best light. Sorry. Let's try for black women. I haven't done this at all. Let's see. Sexualized. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of the top 5 posts, 3 sexualized black women. 6, 7, 8. Another one. 9, next one. 10, next one. This woman's wearing pants off. Look at the top posts for black women. Right? All hypersexualized. Okay? Which is against our God. Alright? Oh, this one, this top one here look like it's 2 lesbians. Yep. Let's type in white women. Same thing pretty much. Just the first post though. Right? The rest of them look like they're in loving relationships. This one's off here. This one. This is off. But look. A lot of nice and decent photos. This is off. That's off. Okay. But there's a difference between how you are presented and how so-called white people are presented. Okay. And here's what God says about the promotion of flesh. This is 1 John 2, 16 to 17. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. This is the last time. Little children, this is the last time, as you have heard, that Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Okay, the point here is 16 and 17. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world. Okay? And so-called Negroes are God's holy people. Okay? All the slave descendants, you are God's holy people. So the promotion of flesh is not for you. You are a priest, and kings, queens, and princes and princesses. That's what God says. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 27, shows you who is talking to. Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. So the Most High is talking to Israel. All right, and he says here in the book of Deuteronomy that if we don't keep his commandments, here's what's going to happen. 45, I'll go from 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not, meaning don't listen, unto the voice of Yahweh, that's his real name, not the Lord, thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee this day. And they shall be upon thee, the curses, right? They shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever for a sign and a wonder. So when you look at black women, black men, and all you see is these hypersexualized people, right? That's a sign, right? That you are destroyed, right? In your mind, right? Because the mental destruction starts before the physical destructions and destruction. Thus saith the Lord. 47. Because thou servest not Yahweh thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst, in nakedness and in want of all things. Here's the kicker. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Okay, the yoke of iron is the iron chain that was upon the neck of the slaves in slavery. Okay, then you go down to 68, and he tells you his people gonna go into slavery on ships, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there shall ye be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay, and all that's saying is the Most High is going to bring you into bondage again with ships. How do we know that? Egypt is the house of bondage. Right? This is Exodus 13:3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. See that? Meaning the house of slavery. For by the strength of Yahweh, by strength of Yahweh, but for by strength of hand Yahweh brought you out from this place, right? There shall no leavened bread be eaten. Okay, and how do we know that's not talking about ancient Egypt? Exodus 14:13, and Moses said unto the people, fear not, stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. Okay, so we were not going to see those Egyptians ever again as a nation. But which Egypt would we go to? We'd go to spiritual Egypt. I'll read this verse again. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. So is this a contradiction? Right? God said you're never going to see Egypt again, but now in Deuteronomy he's saying you're going into Egypt again. Right? Here's the key. Egypt again, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. So the Most High said, hey, listen, I'm sending you into Egypt again with ships, right? By the way whereof I spoke unto thee, and I'm sending you there how I told you that I'm sending you there. right? And I told you, you will see it no more again, but you're going back to Egypt. Is that a contradiction? A carnal man will say yes, but a spiritual man understands that the Bible is understood by precepts, as Isaiah 28, verse 9 and 10, and they will look into the precepts to piece together the puzzle, right? Whatever Egypt you went to, you're going to, as the Most High promised, he says, and there you shall be sold unto your enemy, right? For bondmen and bondwomen, that slave men and slave women, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall be able to redeem you, okay? So which Egypt is this talking about? The answer is in the book of Revelation, right? 11 and 8. And their dead bodies, that's the dead bodies of the Israelites, shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Okay, so there is a spiritual Egypt that we're going into. Okay, and our Lord was crucified there. And the spiritual Egypt, big clue into where the spiritual Egypt is in the book of Daniel. The rough coat is the king of, actually, let me go straight to Joel. There is the spiritual Egypt, okay? Because remember, you were sold to your enemies, okay? So if you find out, you know, where you were sold to your enemies, um, or who did the selling, then you find out where spiritual Egypt is, because we know that it's in a place where our Lord was crucified, meaning Yahweh Shai, right? Who the world calls Jesus. The Messiah was crucified there. What happens when you're crucified? You're killed, right? And there is a place where Messiah was crucified again. This is not talking about Jerusalem, okay? This, let's prove that. Let's prove that. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. Okay, so Messiah gonna be killed, but not for himself, for his people. That's Luke 1 from 69 to 71. But not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. So it says the people of the prince will come and destroy the city and the sanctuary. So the people of the prince of light or darkness will destroy the temple, right? And the city is the people of the prince of darkness. And when you look up who destroyed Jerusalem after Messiah died, it was the Romans. It was the Romans that destroyed the city. Okay? Right? And then when you look at who took us into slavery after um, Christ died, right? Let's go to Daniel, because Daniel will make it clear. It's gonna tell you that it is the Greek. And it tells you that the Greek kingdom will be existing at the end of time, so much so that they will fight Christ, right? So, who took you into spiritual Egypt? It was the so-called Greek, okay? Who is Edom and Idumea, the so-called white man, right? Now watch this. It shows you here. Now, as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright. And he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. Very important. Kings of Media and Persia. The rough goat in a vision that Daniel saw is the king of Grecia, the king of Greece. The great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now, who was the first king of Grecia? Well, the history books will tell you one thing, but God will tell you another, and I believe God. It happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, the king of Persia and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. So when you check who Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian is, That is Alexander the Great. Okay, so-called Alexander the Great was really Alexander the Freak. Okay, damn homosexual, you know, just disgusting, defiled a dog, you know. And he said in 19, he said, "Behold, I will make thee to know." Okay, I read that. Okay, 22. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of that nation. So out of these four other kingdoms gonna stand up, but not in his power, right? And in the latter time of their kingdom, and 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 in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, in the latter time of what kingdom? The Greek kingdom. A king of fierce countenance and understanding, dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully. This man gonna bring destruction everywhere he go, right? This nation, and shall prosper and practice, right? So that nation gonna be prosperous and doing what they feel like, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. This is the key. Remember, Deuteronomy told you we're going into slavery again in ships, and we're going to get yokes put up on our neck until we were destroyed. And now it's telling you that the Greek kingdom is going to destroy the mighty and holy people, brothers and sisters. Were the Israelis destroyed by the so-called white man? No, the Israelis are oppressors, and they're destroying Palestine right now. Okay? But who were they taken into slavery on ships and put and yokes of iron put upon their neck until they were destroyed? No, that happened to the so-called Negro, brothers and sisters. And the so-called white man did it. That's the kingdom of the Greek. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. So through his paperwork, he's gonna cause what? Craft, deception to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart. So who think that he better than everyone, and by peace shall destroy many, who's always the peacekeeper, saying he bringing peace and democracy into your land, but he's really destroying you and your nation and your culture. It's a so-called white man. He shall also stand up, this is the key, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Okay, so the kingdom of the Greek is going to stand up against the prince of princes, which is Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, but he's going to be broken without hand. Okay, so you see, brothers and sisters, this captivity you are going into is into the world, okay, into the West, really, you know, into nations ruled and conquered by the so-called white man, into democracy, if you will, which is, you know, the wine of the beast, right? His philosophy, right? If you have ears to hear. Joel 3 and verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians. This is talking to the so-called African, who is the Hamite. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? You hear that? All the coasts of Palestine. Who was in Palestine? Canaanites. Canaanites are Hamites, so-called Africans. Will you render me a recompense? If you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? That's why Africa can't rise up right now, because God has his foot on their neck, because they sold us to the so-called white man, right? Them and the Ishmaelites, okay? That's why he's killing them. He's been killing them in war, and it's intensifying now, and it's gonna get worse. You know, World War III is here, and it's only going to intensify until it reaches the shores of the west. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecian. You see that? The children of Judah and Jerusalem was sold to the so-called white man. Where did that ever happen to the Israeli? It never happened, right? That you might remove them far from their border. When the Israeli was oppressed, the Israeli wasn't far from his border. He was right there in Europe still, right? In the German camps, right? But when we were enslaved, we were taken from the east to the west, right? and even to the farthest reaches of the world, the ends of the earth, really. China, Australia, right? The Caribbean, North, South America, Central America, all in slavery. Behold, I will raise them up out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Okay? So, that's it, brothers and sisters, right? You are the children of the Most High God. Okay? You were sold into slavery, um, going into spiritual Egypt. Okay? Also known as Babylon, Assyria, and a bunch of other names. All right? So, return to your God. That's your duty. Return to your God, return to your culture, or you're going to perish with the world. And now, Israel, what doth Yahweh thy God require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes. So it's not just commandments, he has statutes. God has a whole lifestyle for you. You must keep it, or you're going to perish, which I command thee this day. For what? To bother you? No, for thy good. Okay, for thy good. Right? And yeah, with that, brothers and sisters, keep the commandments, man. So that you know you're not showing up, um, you know, naked and half naked on these people's search engines. Okay, so that the propaganda that they spread against you um, comes to nothing. All right, and if you don't do that, you will be destroyed. All right. So, love you all, and have a great day, and peace to you, and may the Most High bless and keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, and give you peace. All right? Easy.